All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another rendition of Sports Senseis. We are officially back. I know you guys missed us because we missed you extremely bad, but we are officially back. In today's episode, we'll be talking about NFL from Lamar Jackson's situation to Tom Brady, as well as Cam Newton, and we'll get into some ladies' Final Four, as well as some NBA news, because you know the playoffs is coming up, and you can't get any better news anywhere other than with the Sports Senseis. But before we get started, check out this cool video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your favorite show. It is the Sports Senseis, and we are so excited to bring you an episode today. We have so many topics. So without further ado, ladies, let's just go ahead and get started. First things first, Lamar Jackson has asked for a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. He is no longer happy there. They refuse to pay that man his money. What do you guys think about him requesting the trade? What do you think about the real possibility of him possibly getting traded? Or what do you think is a good fit for him? Like, what are your thoughts about this whole situation in itself? Jay, I'm going to go ahead and start with you, my girl.
I think they're doing Lamar dirty. I mean, what's the real excuse? Oh, the last 2 years he's been injured, this and that. Pay the man. Who else is going to be your quarterback? But now the blood is so bad that you're kind of like, how could he even stay with the Ravens, right? But then if you're looking, like, all the teams are coming out saying they're not touching him, all the teams that need quarterbacks. So it's like, is it going to be like a forfeit where he has to just now stay with them because nobody's touching him? Is it like all the organizations are sticking together and saying, hey, we're not going to touch Lamar? Like, it's like, what is happening right now? I mean, I know Lamar wants that guaranteed, oh my gosh, what's old boy's name? Texans.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson money, but bro, that ain't happening. The Browns made a huge mistake when they done that. I'm sure all the owners slapped their hands like, don't ever do that. You're making us look bad. You messing up the money. You messing up the bag. But of course, he wants to get paid. But it's looking real scarce out here. Now, I would like to say that I appreciate him taking to Twitter because I don't know if he's been Twitter finger happy before, but he's sticking up for himself, right? He's letting the people know, hey, no, I requested a trade on March 2nd. Okay, it still didn't happen. I've said this, I've said that. Hey, y'all trying to say, oh, I didn't play for the team right now when I was hurt at the end. What if he would have got hurt worse? He said, look, I played week 1 through week 12 with no problems, and my money wasn't right? So don't say he's just a quitter on the team. He has to look out for himself. We know that the NFL is a business, and while the owners are looking out for themselves, players got to look out for themselves, right? I would love to see him go to Washington. I want to see Eric Bieniemy have a quarterback to work with, so they can stop talking about, oh, he was there, he didn't really do anything as an offensive coordinator. So I would love for him to actually have a legitimate quarterback to be the offensive coordinator too. I could see Tennessee to be a good fit. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm just waiting to really see what unfolds with all this. Like, I can't believe this is happening right now. I'm like, is he gonna end up back with the Ravens by default because nobody's gonna touch him because all the teams have talked to each other like, no, don't touch him. We don't want to give this up. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. But shout out to you, Lamar. I love even actually I've been a Lamar critic, but the way they're doing you, this isn't right. You have been an MVP in this league, and the disrespect is just not right.
What about you, Rip the Trip? What you got?
I mean, those are some hard comments to follow. Jay Nicole hit it right on the head. It's disrespectful the way Baltimore has been treating this situation. And it's something that we've had our eye on for quite some time. I don't know about you ladies, but I thought it was very suspect. And I thought there was horns being blown when he didn't return to help his team in the playoffs. And we were always hearing week after week, oh, he's coming back. His injury's not that serious, but then it ends up being more serious. I mean, I just feel like it got really cloudy at the end of that season. And I felt that it was going to be an ongoing process throughout the offseason. I didn't think anything was going to happen right away. And I mostly blame that for Lamar for not having the representation to really get the job done, to really see out his best interests. I just feel like he's been in this awkward limbo with the Ravens that should have been cut short a while ago. I mean, we saw Deshaun Watson get paid. Obviously, he won those standards. We even saw Daniel Jones get a hardcore deal with the New York Giants as well, $160 million, 4 years, 92 guaranteed. I just think the Ravens have been letting all this time pass and letting the pot boil that now it's at a point where there's no saving it. Lamar has come out to the public. Great timing on that, by the way, with him being so vocal on social media when they're having those owners meeting, when John Harbaugh is getting the mic put in his face, having to answer questions about what's happening. It's just all real cloudy. Nobody really knows what's happening behind the scenes. But it's not something I see that's going to be resolved anytime soon. There are a lot of teams that should be calling Lamar Jackson, and I find it really hard to believe that they're not. I mean, the Indianapolis Colts, a great landing spot for him. Can you imagine him and Jonathan Taylor with him under center and then Jonathan Taylor in the backfield? 300 yards guaranteed rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns any given Sunday. It's a great recipe over there with the Colts, and I think Frank Reich kind of deserves it after putting up with what's his name again, Carson Wentz. But I liked what you added with the Commanders too. With Eric Bieniemy coming from KC, he has a lot to prove, and having a mobile quarterback like Lamar Jackson will just be an excellent tool for him to start off his career with Washington. Sorry, Lamar, you need representation. It's gotten really, really foggy. I think the line of communication has become unclear of what's happening between you and Baltimore. So there's a big fix. And don't forget, there's other teams that should be picking up the phone. And I will say the New England Patriots should be one of those teams because Mac Jones is not the future. He's already had a lot of disagreements with Matt Patricia as the offensive coordinator. He doesn't even want to listen to the guy. So if Bill Belichick wants to stay out of the hot water since he's been trying to recoup his career since Tom Brady left to Tampa, I think he should be giving Lamar a call.
I agree with both of you ladies. Very, very excellent takes from both of you guys. I hate that Lamar Jackson is in this situation because I feel like he's such a young guy with such a bright career ahead of him. And I feel like the Baltimore Ravens should have just paid him. Like, I don't understand. Like, the thing of it is this, like, this is where the NFL is treading. Like, they're going to pay those young stud quarterbacks are gonna get the bag. Like, that's just what it is. That's the direction that the league is going in. And I don't understand why they're not able to meet in the middle and make something like this happen. Like, who else? Like you said, you spoke to it, Ruth. Who else would I'm sorry, it was Jay. But who else are they gonna go to but him? Like, who? Like, what else? What is the other option? So you trade him and then what? Do you rebuild? Do you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly a direction are you going to go in if it's not to build around the proper team around Lamar Jackson, which essentially is all he's asking on top of the fact that he wants his money as he should. Like, what else does he have to prove? He's an MVP. He's won a playoff game. You know, he's just been nicked up the past couple of years. But other than that, I mean, he's balled out. Like, he's done everything. He's fulfilled his contract in every single way. So at this point, give that man his money. Like, that would be honestly, if the Baltimore Ravens let go Lamar Jackson, I feel like that's going to set their franchise back for.
But do they really want to let him go? Because look at what they're asking for. It's a non-exclusive franchise tag. They want 2 first-round draft picks. He obviously knows that Lamar wants some guaranteed money, so he's just not going to go sign a contract with anybody. I think Baltimore is setting Lamar up for failure. I think they know that nobody wants to give up that kind of money and that kind of draft capital, because if you want to put the pieces around Lamar, you need draft picks. So why would you give away your draft potential to help your team? It's just, he's put these NFL teams with their backs on the wall, and I feel bad for Lamar because I hope it's not taken away from his confidence, that his phone is not getting blown up with everybody knowing out in the public that he wants to be out of Baltimore. But it's just, I think the Ravens have set him up for disaster, and I think that they're playing this game of chess with him.
Yeah,
I feel like they're gonna win. So
for sure.
Tomorrow that he's got caught in this crossfire, but we're gonna have to see how this unfolds, because it's only getting started, ladies. I don't think this is anywhere close to being.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's gonna get ugly before it gets beautiful. Like I said, I just hope that Lamar just does what's best for him. Like I hate when athletes are in these really sticky situations, and like Ruth said, they play chess with you to set you up for failure, essentially, because they know they hold all of the cards. Having that franchise tag, and then asking for 2 first rounds, and knowing that he wants guaranteed money, no team is gonna do that. No team is gonna do that. Like you're asking too much. Like, look, I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson, but you ain't Jesus, bro. It's not worth it. Like, I'm sorry, it isn't. I feel bad for you, my boy. I do, but I also understand the business side of it. Like, all right, you want to leave before you can be traded? Cool. Or before you can be a free agent? Cool. But this is what's going to have to entail. So either you come back and make it do with us, or you just going to be stuck. And I just feel like, unfortunately, he's going to be stuck.
Yeah.
But moving right along, since we are talking about some NFL teams, let's get into this whole Cam Newton situation. So Cam Newton is still trying to vie for a job for whatever reason. He thinks that there's not 32 quarterbacks that are better than him. He's wondering why these randoms, as he said, keep getting jobs. Thoughts? Ruth. Just go ahead, because I don't even.
Superman. Okay, Cam. Love you, dog. Loved everything that you've done in the NFL. It's been impressive. You got your tail smacked in the 2015 Super Bowl when you guys played the Denver Broncos with like 92 yards passing. Pathetic performance, but that nonetheless. You went to New England. It didn't work out. Didn't he end up in
back to Carolina? Back to Carolina picked you up.
Did he link up with Ron Rivera in Washington? No, but that was like rumored for that to happen. I mean, I think his demise was how things ended in New England, and how he got beat out by Mac Jones, by a starting quarterback. You're a veteran in the league, and you have a rookie taking your job. And I think that just says a lot. That whole situation kind of imploded from the very beginning. Cam, if you want to be a starter in a league, it won't be the NFL. You could shoot your shot with the XFL, just kind of rebirth your career, kind of get back in the spotlight, be that Superman you want to be, but you're going to have to take a step down. I don't think it's going to happen in the NFL. Is there some truth to what he says when he says, like, oh, there's not 32 starting quarterbacks that are better than me? They might not be better than you, but they might be younger than you, and they might have more youth than you, and they might have more accountability and more wear and tear to give up. And Cam, you're just not in that position. You've gotten to the point where you've become fragile. So love you, Cam. But I think the XFL is your best bet. Come play for the Orlando Guardians. I would love to cover you right down the road, near Tampa. But that whole throwing the football in a college scenario, that just says it all. Cam, I love you, but no, it's over for him.
Jay, what you got, man?
Definitely, Cam. I'm sorry. You're going to go to a college pro day, dude. You were a former NFL quarterback who went to a Super Bowl. What are you doing? Like, you're setting yourself back. However, I would take him as our backup QB, Chad Henne left us, KC, we will. Because, look, Clearly, we will no longer, Casey will no longer do the quarterback sneak because that's how Patrick got hurt. But we will definitely have you, Cam, muscle your way in there for that. So if you want to be back up, Casey, think about it. But no, bro, you look. You went to the Patriots, lost out to Mac Jones. Your old team, the Panthers, picked you back up, and you went like 1-5. You went 1-5, bro. Your old team took pity on you, took you back, and you went 1-5, bro. Yes, exactly what Ruth said. Are there 30 out of 32 quarterbacks? Are you better than? Yes, I do believe that. But who wants to deal with the Cam personality on top of it? It's like you were a whole thing, okay? You've been. Who else did it want when they didn't want to deal with Tebow anymore? Like, although I think Tebow's a good guy, but it was everything that surrounded him, right? It's Cam, it's who you are, it's your personality. Maybe if you were more demeanor, a little bit quiet to or something, maybe like, hey, we could be a backup, and then maybe you could compete for your job, right? Maybe you could go back and be like, hey, let's see if you can get the position. But people do not want Cam Newton, his attitude, his energy, any of that. Sorry, bro. They don't want you. But
And
hey, it's nice to know you can throw a ball 60 yards at a college pro day. You made yourself look so great next to other college court. Like what? Like that was the wrong way of going about it. Period. So it was like that right there should tell you, bro. Your time is up. You are washed. Sit down. Unless you want to be the backup quarterback for Casey. That's it.
happy Women Equality Month, and we're all about women and speaking our voice. And Cam does not agree on those terms, so we are here to let it be known. It's Equality Month, Cam.
Yes, yes. All of those things. Damn, homie. In 2015, you was the man, homie. What happened to you? You are not him no more, Cam. I'm sorry, you just not him, and that's just the reality. Like he still in his mind thinks that he can be MVP Cam, and you just can't. Not at 34, not with all of the injuries, not with you having a full season of being out of the NFL. Like the last showing of you that we saw was not a good one. You did not leave a good lasting impression on NFL teams. So the fact that you're not getting calls and these quote unquote randoms should tell you everything that you need to know. It's over for you, my boy. Be an analyst, have your little show, do whatever you're gonna do, but the NFL is not for you. Like nobody's going to call that phone, my man's. It's over with. What you do is, start your entrepreneurship, do your business thing, do all the things that you wanted to do outside of football, because the NFL ain't happening for you unless you're willing to be a second or third string, which I know you aren't, which is understandable. Like that's very hard to go from a stature like Cam Newton's to being a backup or to being, they're not really considered to play it that much. So I get it, but swallow your pride, my guy. Like it's over with. Like we don't view you the same, and we don't view you how you view you, and that's just the problem.
I agree that it could be a blow to the confidence to be a second, third string quarterback, but I mean, to not have to face injuries, to still be making like $3 million a year. I mean, maybe not the worst thing. I mean, what is he going to do? Like go sell fedoras or something? Like, I think that if you have to sit on the bench for somebody, he should take it, and he might get his shot, because what is one of the most important positions in football right now? The backup quarterback. Because when your first guy goes out, the next guy got to be up and ready. It's the next man mentality. So we'll see. But Cam,
I mean, maybe he should talk to that woman who he thought it was funny that she knew routes. Maybe she could help him get. Never mind.
That part.
It's just a thought. I mean, just a thought. This is what happens. Karma, karma always spin the block. But anyway, speaking of quarterbacks who are not Cam Newton, Tom Brady. Rook, can you give us the full government for us, please?
So Mr. Tom Brady has announced that he is going to be a minority owner of the amazing franchise of the Las Vegas Aces. Him and Kelsey are going to be side by side doing whatever it takes to improve the viewership and all things that have to do with the WNBA. This is huge news. Brady was also seen with a lot of his friends at the beach playing football. That was very comedic. There's a lot of memes going around about Brady possibly photoshopping some of those some of those photos.
Yeah, them abs was. Come on, Brett.
Too,
Come on, Tom.
but hey, that's what retirement could be doing to him. So it could be.
No, Tom. No. You ain't convincing me, my boy.
He's finally over Giselle. That's what it is. So he's got his bad boy body back.
Listen, you ain't convincing me, Tom. I know that ain't you, bro. I know that ain't you.
We saw some of his favorite people out there: Rob Gronkowski, obviously, Julian Edelman, and a lot of his great TB12 friends. Great to see Tom Brady with a smile on his face. And shout out to the Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammon. I think this is a huge, huge move for the WNBA to have somebody affiliated like Tom Brady. I think it's going to bring a lot of eyes to women in sports. He talked about him growing up as the annoying little brother with 3 older sisters that were really the athletes in the house. So I feel like Brady's kind of carrying that torch of Kobe when it came to bringing a lot of eyes and viewerships to the WNBA. So this is all things good. And remember, he has a daughter. He owns a basketball team. Maybe we could see his daughter start playing basketball and then someday be on the team. And, there's just so many things that can unfold from this. This is only great news for the WNBA, especially the Aces. So congrats to them. Kelsey Plumlee gets to be next to her best friend, because I know you guys saw all the videos with her and Brady, and he got her a custom jersey with his with a signature.
Real nice.
I just have to say a comment. I feel really bad for Kelsey and her new husband, Darren Wallace.
Ooh, they know they was wrong. Oh, Jesus, they know they was wrong.
I know this is an old topic, but I'm going to talk about it since I haven't got a chance to discuss it with you ladies. How messed up is that you win a championship, right? You get married, you on top of the world, and then your husband gets shipped off to New York, just days after they got married and finalized their, holy matrimony. He gets shipped off to New York. Josh McDaniels is not a romantic. Kelsey Plumlee said it happened because he was not invited to the wedding.
I can see that, but yeah, that's petty. That's disrespectful. I felt bad for them too. As soon as I saw it, I was like, for real. For real, you couldn't have waited, or you couldn't have did it before they got married. Come on, bro. You gonna do that a couple days after they get married? Yay, we got married, let's go on our honeymoon. But see you on the other side of the world. What kind of?
Yes, that is at least a 5 to 6 hour flight. Just so you ladies know.
Not
yeah,
cool.
And I wouldn't. But hopefully he fly her private and she ain't got to deal with a bunch of people.
Of course.
Slight flex. All right, off of football for a second, we're gonna transition over to some basketball, some women's college basketball. To be honest with you, because we have the Final Four coming up this weekend. But really quick, before we get into the actual Final Four matchup, I do want to say that the increasing followers on the women's game is going crazy right now. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Elite 8 games over the past couple of days actually had more views than an NBA game. On top of that, had more views than the rivalry game between Duke and UNC. So shout out to the ladies for putting on a show. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in and showing all the love to the women's college basketball. And it's finally starting to get the respect it's due. But without further ado, we have the Final Four matchup set. Iowa and South Carolina will be going back and forth. That means we will get to see Caitlin Clark against Aaliyah Boston, Don Staley and company. And we have Virginia Tech versus LSU, Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson. Shout out to Flau'jae because I listen to her music. She's dope. So, ladies, Iowa, South Carolina. That's going to be the marquee matchup. That's the heavyweight bout at this point because Caitlin Clark has been losing her absolute mind in this tournament, scoring just ridiculous numbers. And then you also have undefeated South Carolina with Don Staley, who they just have a team. They just have a squad. They have a squad full of hoopers that ain't scared, been there before, got the experience, of course, and they're undefeated. So who you got?
So as much as I love Caitlin Clark and her 40-point triple doubles, girl's a beast. She's fantastic to watch, and she's only a junior, sitting at 6 foot for Iowa. I'm gonna have to go with South Carolina, the champs who are undefeated right now. And I will say that whole Camila Codorzo and who was it?
Hilarious.
Yeah, completely funny. I had to repost that on my Instagram.
Hilarious.
I had to look her up. I had to see how tall she is. That girl is 6'7". Camila is sitting at a beautiful 6'7". With Diamond Miller, just an easy brush off for her. But it's fantastic to see the increasing viewership on women in sports. The NCAA is a huge tournament nationwide. We have the men's team as well, or the men's basketball going on as well. This is a time of year where people kind of take away from NBA and start paying attention more into college hoops, because these are the players that we are going to be seeing drafted into the NBA. So we would like to see what kind of things that they're producing on the court, for the future to come. So it's no surprise that these numbers keep increasing, because women are just getting more and more involved, and there's more and more eyes watching. So congratulations. But I think South Carolina is going to make it all the way to the finals.
Yes, indeed. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, South Carolina all the way. You're being coached by, to me, the greatest women's basketball coach ever. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Dawn
Okay.
Staley is a different kind of beast as a coach. We're undefeated. I'm just waiting to see the matchup, South Carolina and LSU. Iowa. No disrespect to Iowa, they're putting in work. I mean, this is the first year that what did they say? Not the first year, but like in the last, I want to say they said like 10, 15 years that UConn, Stanford, like hasn't been in it.
Stanford, Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like this is the last. So I'm like, man, it's cool to see some fresh blood in here. But South Carolina all day, every day. Aaliyah Boston, let's get it. Like my thing. So 2 years ago, I think it was the Sweet 16 was actually in San Antonio for the women in 2021. And as I actually went to those games and then like just keep following it, right. And everybody has the remembrance of Aaliyah Boston with the putback, and it just didn't kind of go in, right? But last year they came for it, they got it, and I just don't see anything stopping them. I'm like, this is their time. They're showing you what South Carolina Gamecocks are about. Ain't nobody stopping them. Sorry, Maryland. They put in a good game. I know there was some tiffs there. Maryland was trying to say like, yo, we didn't get the calls. Y'all got 26 fouls, whatever. I mean, the game is the game. You playing intense, you playing rough. It is what it is. But South Carolina all day. Dawn Staley, Leah Boston. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Bars. Drop the track. Somebody got the beat ready. No, I'm gonna go South Carolina as well. I mean, they're just a team full of dogs, man. And I listen. I don't doubt Dawn Staley. I love her story. I love the way that she has been just a prominent role in women's college basketball since she's been coaching. I love the fact that the way that those girls revere her and look up to her and like really give her like a motherly kind of respect. Like that's just a really dope dynamic. Like that's a coach that I would have loved to play for. Like she's one of those coaches you run through a wall for. You can definitely tell by the way that it reflects in how her team plays. So I love Kayla. But I do love watching some Kayla Clark. I'm not gonna cap. That girl is tough. I like the fact that she ain't scared of nobody. She ain't scared of nothing. If you talk trash, she gonna talk trash. If she can shoot it from the parking lot, like she's incredible. However, there's one Caitlin Clark. There's a lot of dogs with South Carolina, man. Like I don't know how you know what I'm saying? Because Iowa's gonna have to play defense. It ain't just all about offense. They're gonna have to play defense. So how do they stop Zaya Cook? How do they stop Aaliyah Boston? How do they stop Cadorza? How do they stop Raven Johnson? I think her last name is. They just got too many weapons. So I got South Carolina definitely all day. But I definitely think it's going to be a very tight game. I think that Iowa's going to keep it close for a little minute. So South Carolina has to kind of has to rely on that veteran leadership and just, not get rattled and not get nervous, which I think they'll be okay. But I think it's going to be a close game, but I got South Carolina in the edge for sure. Now let's go to the other side of the bracket. Kim Mulkey and LSU with Angel Reese, like I said, Flaja Johnson, Alexis Morris against Virginia Tech, which who in the world saw Virginia Tech being in the Final Four? Insanity, but they've been balling out of control. They've been surprising a lot of people. So who do y'all got in that matchup?
I love the underdog story, so I'm going to go with Virginia Tech in this game against LSU. I know it's going to be a battle, but if they keep them off the free throw line and defend the perimeter, I think they have a chance to shut down LSU.
All right, Jay Nicole, what you got for me?
Okay, well, I'm going to go with LSU. Like I said, I want to see LSU and South Carolina duke it out when they were both undefeated, right? And they had to go to head-to-head, and they're like, somebody's got to lose earlier in the season. And South Carolina got the win, so I would love to see that matchup. Their coach is just she's something different. So something different in a special type of way. And I just saw a photo online of like her and Don Staley like either hitting like maybe like doing a fist bump or something. So I don't know. I feel like they're already putting it out in the universe. So like I'm like, let's get a rematch. LSU, South Carolina, let's go.
Listen, give me LSU. I like Virginia Tech. I like the story, and I'm usually rooting for the underdog, but I like LSU. I like their swag. I like the confidence that they play with. Again, they're another team that they are a reflection of their coach. And if you know anything about Kim Mulkey from back in her Baylor days, like she's always been a fiery, rile you up, like, you know, have her players back, get on their players, of course, and expect nothing but greatness. And I just like the fact that I feel like she finally has the horses that she can really coach, and you can really see the brilliance in her coaching. And you can see it through LSU. Like, they play like a team. Like, yes, they have Angel Reese, who is a star in her own right, but they play like a team. They ride for each other. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell the camaraderie between all of them. And I mean, they got some gunners, man. Like I said, Flau'jae Johnson, I'm a huge fan of her outside of basketball. But I mean, she's been playing awesome. Of course, like I said, Angel Reese. But what I will say is this: if they are going to win against Virginia Tech, Angel Reese has to play better. She hasn't really played her game in the last couple of games. She's been missing a lot of shots that she normally makes, and they're going to need those shots to fall. She's going to have to be on her A game. She cannot afford to play sloppy against this Virginia Tech team, because if she does, they going home. So I'm going to say LSU, but they got to definitely tighten up, because they haven't been playing to their full strength, in my opinion. But looks like we might have an SEC national championship. And if we do, just real quick before we move on to the NBA, who's the champion?
South Carolina runs it back.
Yep. South Carolina. I think we're all in agreement today. I just wanted to see if anybody was going to, throw a wrench in the program. But I think
got some dogs out there. They got some dogs.
They do get some dogs.
They got the great coaching, and they're hitting from all cylinders. So as long as they play their game and stick to their game plan, they're gonna go run it back to back.
For sure. I believe that also as well. Now let's get into some NBA. You know, it's our favorite time of the season. The playoffs are around the corner. We can almost smell it. It's so close. So we want to kind of give you guys just a little preview of what we think. So I'll do it like this, because I have a couple of different questions for you guys. I want to change it up a little bit. So currently constructed, if the play-in starts today, Miami and I believe Atlanta would play.
Yep.
And then on the West, who is it on the West?
Minnesota and LA.
Minnesota and the Clippers, right?
No, the Lakers.
Okay, Minnesota and the Lakers, and then so we'll do it like that. So if the plan started today, you got Minnesota, LA. We'll start there. Who you got?
So out of Minnesota and LA, I'm definitely going to go for the Lakers. LeBron James is back. He's playing. He's doesn't look like that foot's hurting him too much, which is good. And I think LeBron is playing with a huge chip on his shoulder. Is Anthony Davis, or is he available right now? I can never.
Yes, don't do that. 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 Group, we was doing so good, and then you just she always gotta she always,
come on now.
Every time we get here, she gotta.
Yeah, so it's been awesome to see the Lakers struggle. That sounds so terrible to say, but it's been a roller coaster for that team. But obviously, being a Clippers fan on the other side of the fence, I got to throw the jabs when I possibly can. But I mean, I'm not going to get too crazy on it, because every time I try to doubt LeBron and the King, it just always comes back to bite me. So if the Timberwolves can play their game, I don't know. I don't trust it. Too inexperienced over there on that side. And LeBron James is on a mission right now, and he's gotten plenty of rest. And I think he's coming in at such a valuable time right now to get his feet wet before the play-in starts. As constructed right now, I have the LA Lakers taking on the Timberwolves, and I think LA will go to the next round of the play-in.
Ruth the Truth, you better hope that Russ don't have a meltdown and cause your Clippers to lose, because I swear for Lord, you will not even.
It's not gonna be Westbrook, okay? It's gonna be Kawhi that is somehow.
Listen, you gonna
fine. of them
All I'm
making
gonna
it
say.
to the Western Conference Finals. That's all I want. Just make it back to the Western Conference
Listen.
Finals, please.
All I'm gonna say is when they lose, because we know the clip is gonna clip. We know it's coming. When they lose, the episode following them losing, I'm talking for 10 minutes.
Hey,
That's
hey,
all I gotta say.
this seed right now, I'm pretty proud of them. I was getting real worried towards the middle of the season because they kept getting themselves down like by 25 points in the first quarter, and that was starting to drive me crazy because just the deeper you dig the hole, the harder it is to get out. So, but they've been kind of wishy-washy these last couple weeks. The Westbrook trade, I didn't understand. He just didn't want to leave Staples Center or whatever the heck they're calling that building at this point in time. Um, it's just real weird. So, and then they traded off some pieces that I wasn't really too happy about. But yeah, as constructed right now, Lakers go on to the next round. But I think their longevity in the playoffs is all going to depend on Anthony Davis in that house. Because as much as everybody's loving this Austin Reeves story of him coming out the woodworks, I don't see that being consistent throughout the playoffs. Because I mean, the playoffs is a whole different animal. We get the whole different side of these NBA players. I feel like they've been saving up the energy for this point of the season. So they're going to have to bring the fire, and the Wolves aren't going to go down as easy.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Jay, what you got?
It's the Lake Show all day, every day. I'm a Lakers fan too. I'm a LG fan. LeBron's my dude. He's back. He's playing. Look, the Bulls won that game, but they just came back tonight. Bulls, and then the Lakers won this game. So hey, bye
And
bye.
Austin Reeves told Pat Bev he too small.
Tell him, Austin Reeves. Tell him. Hey, AD had 38 points. Look, he had 38 points. So AD, please stay healthy. You can do it. Let's go. I think LeBron is on a mission. You can do it. If AD just was right, if you could just be AD all the time and just stay playing, we could really do something. It was just 2020, and I know it was in the bubble, but we still won that championship. Don't put an asterisk by it, okay? A win is a win is a win is a win is a win. Okay,
Talk
and that
to him.
Miami Heat team
Talk
was
to him.
laced, so you can't even come on.
Talk to
But
him.
yeah, oh definitely. I mean, Anthony Towns, we love you, bro, but y'all ain't getting this win. LeBron's on a mission. He said, I mean, unfortunately, before he got injured, but he's like, these are the most important 23 games of the season. Of course, they had to end up being out for most of them, but he is on a mission. He is coming back. We will get this play-in win, and then whoever I'm gonna say. Then whoever they have to face after that, they're gonna get the win too, and they're gonna be in the regular playoffs. And here we go. So
yeah.
I mean, the West has been so. When you look at it, I mean, it's like a few games putting these teams. It's like the 4th seed, the 5th seed, the 6th seed. It's literally like 11 games back, 12. Like they're literally a game and a half apart. So this is just like literally, if somebody just threw them on the page, it can roll anywhere, right? So it's been interesting this year, but yeah, definitely LA all day. LeBron's back. We gonna win the playing games. We going into the regular playoffs. Let's go.
Yep, I got Lake Show all day. I'll make my take short here, but yeah, I got Lake Show all day. I got LeBron. I think, like Ruth said, he's coming back at the right time to kind of get warmed up and get acclimated to playing longer minutes and being in for longer stretches. And this is the time of year that you get a LeBron James for these particular moments because he's been there, he's done it so many times. So I definitely got them winning. I think Minnesota definitely is going to make it interesting because they are a good young team. So you definitely got to account for them and can't just completely count them out. I think they definitely make it close, but give me Bron in as long as AD is playing like AD. And that's the thing, like, bro, like if he played like he plays tonight every single night, we'd win the championship because nobody can stop him when he's playing at that high level. It's just he cannot maintain it over the course of time, and it drives me insane. But I got the Lakers. So on the Eastern Conference, how we doing on time, ladies? Are we good or?
Yes.
I know, Jay. You gotta be out in a little
about
bit.
5 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll do the Eastern Conference play inside, and then Jay, we'll let you go ahead and go there. So we got Miami versus the Atlanta Hawks. Now they played last year. There's been some chippiness back and forth every time those two teams play. So Jay, actually, you know what? Yeah, Jay, I'm gonna go with you first. Who do you got winning that game and why?
You know what? I mean, oh, this is a hard one because I still call him Jimmy Buckets because I remember when he was with the Bulls. So he's always gonna hold a little special place in my heart because that's the hometown team. That's how we got to
Yep.
start. Plus, he's from Texas. I'm in Texas right now, so I can't, I feel like I can't go against the Heat. But then, ice cold Trey though. I just feel like, y'all got a little Dejounte Murray came over from Spurs. I don't know. I feel like it could actually really be a toss up, and like you said, it's been chippy between them. So I definitely think it's gonna be a really really good game. If I got to give somebody the edge, I'm going to go Miami Heat because let's not forget, just 2 seasons ago, what I just brought up, they were in the NBA Finals against LeBron James and the Lakers. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give them the edge. I say Miami Heat, but a very, very close game it will be.
Yes. Jay, not Jay, I'm sorry, Root the Truth. What do you have? Who do you have winning that game?
It's going to be a close game nonetheless, but I do think the veteran experience that Jay mentioned is really going to be what's going to put Miami over the top. DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, I mean, they got a lot of great pieces over there in Atlanta, but we've seen them struggle on and off throughout the whole season. They get hot, then they get cold, and I just don't think that they have the experience to take them over the top. So I have Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo, Kevin Love, and what's his name, Tyler Hero, making it happen for them. And it's going to be a good first round, but I think Atlanta has just been a little kind of sloppy throughout the season. I mean, we've heard that for firing their coach and Nate McMillan, and it's just been like an up and down battle with keeping Trae happy and all that kind of thing. So I think that might come back to bite them in this plan. And Miami can't go out like that. Like that would just be a terrible ending for their season, which has also been hot and cold for Miami. So I think they have a lot to prove to make it past at least the first round of the play-in. So I'm gonna give the upper hand to Miami.
I'm gonna agree, ladies. I think playoff Jimmy is just different, and that's the thing. Like we have to remember, like that man comes alive during this time of year, and I just don't think Atlanta has enough. They need to make some serious roster moves in order for them to really contend in the playoffs. Because I mean, they're a fun team to watch, but also a frustrating team to watch because they're not always consistent, and then you don't know what Trae Young you're gonna get. Are you gonna get the Trae Young that looks similar to Steph Curry, or are you gonna get the cold Trae Young where it's not as good? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely give the edge to Miami for the simple fact that, like I said, I just trust playoff Jimmy. I mean, that's one of those players that unless I see him lose, I don't bet against him. So I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat myself as well.
All right, ladies. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great rest of the show. Great to be back. Hope to see you next week.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, thanks, Jay. Appreciate you coming on, sis.
Have a great night.
Yep. All right, so it is just Ruth the Truth and I. We got just a few more NBA topics that I want to talk to Ruth the Truth about because I just need to pick her brain a little bit, guys. I need to pick Ruth the Truth's brain. Yeah, that's why they call it the truth and not the lie, because she tells the truth. Okay?
Facts.
So I want to know, like, is there a team that you think that could be a sleeper team in the playoffs that could, like, shake some stuff up, that could, like, I know how we see it and how we think, matchups and, like you said, experience and star power and et cetera, but is there a team that could kind of disturb the peace on the Western Conference and on the Eastern Conference?
Starting with the Eastern Conference, I want to say the Toronto Raptors, who find themselves in this play-in tournament. Who are they playing in the first play-in? I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be number 10, the Chicago, who's 30.
Yeah, the Bulls. I think it's the Bulls, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's going to be Chicago in that first round if the play-in were to start today. I have them being that sneaker team that could possibly make it into the playoff bracket for the Eastern Conference. Going over to the Western Conference side, I think the LA Lakers, obviously, with all the hoopla that has followed their season, I think that they're going to be that sleeper team that nobody expected them to come out of the woodworks after all the chaos that they've been through throughout the season. That's going to be the team that could possibly make it to the second, third round into the playoffs and to make some noise. So those are my two sleeper teams on each side.
Fair. I like that. I do very much so like that. I'm going to go Western Conference. I'm going to go the Sacramento Kings.
Ooh.
Here's why.
But
Because
they're sitting at the 3rd seed, so everyone's expecting them to be successful. They got 45 wins.
No, they are not. Outside of Sacramento, not the truth. Here's why I say, but in all honesty, here's why I say that. Because they are the Kings, and they have not been in the playoffs for 16 years. So this is right. So this is their first time being in the playoffs for that long period of time. And so I think a lot of people are looking at it as they're just going to be happy to be there. We made it. We got a 40-plus win season for the first time in I don't know how long. We're in the playoffs. The city is on fire right now. So it's just, I think a lot of people think that they're just, like I said, they're going to be on that just a happy to be here type of time. But what they don't realize is their coach, Mike Brown, he in his mind believes that they could contend for a championship. Like that's his mindset. Like every team that he's been a part of in the coaching facet, he believes can win a championship because he believes in his
Warriors tree. He was the right hand for gosh, I can't remember his name right now.
Steve Kerr.
I was about to say Steph Curry, and I'm like, that can't be right. He can't be the coach and the best player.
It's close enough.
Coming from that dynasty, I saw nothing less coming from Sacramento, especially at the moves that they made in the offseason. I saw them being successful, and I think Mike Brown might just be that edge to put them over because coming with that experience, knowing the mentality of the playoffs, knowing how you got to adjust your game, how to coach the game, I think that they could be that sleeper team. Yeah, it might be their first time in the playoff brackets in 16 years, but hey, better late.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely think they can shake it up. Like I said, I just think that the energy surrounding the team with the fans and just, being here, like describing it is one thing, but actually being here and experiencing it in my face, like it's a completely type of like I can't really put it into words. Like the city is literally electric, like it's infectious, almost like you can tell when there's a Kings home game because like it's the talk of the town. So like I think with that and just like I said with Mike Brown being the coach and just how well they play together as a team, I definitely think they can make some noise in the Western Conference for sure. They may match up in the first round with the Golden State Warriors, which would be very, very interesting. Because, let me tell you something about the Kings versus the Warriors, especially nowadays. Insanity. But that's my Western Conference super team. Eastern Conference, the Brooklyn Nets. I think they, for whatever reason, the Kyrie, KD experience did not work. But they still have been playing great basketball.
Kyrie, James Harden experience.
Yes, James Harden and Ben Simmons. I forgot about him too. We don't even have to go there. That's another subject for another day. I think, like I said, they still have been playing competitive basketball. And they seem to almost be playing better as a team without the star power. Like, everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they're there to do. Then they, they bring what they have to bring to the table every day, and they give themselves a good chance to win. So I would definitely watch out for them. They can definitely make some noise, as well as the other team in New York, the New York Knicks. They've been playing pretty good basketball as well. So hey man,
you never know. That's the beauty of the playoffs. It's all about who comes up short, who comes up with their game, who sticks to their game plan, and like. It's all about the experience and the wear and tear that you could survive through the playoffs. So the beauty about the NBA is it's any given day when it comes to the
NBA. Absolutely. So ideal Western Conference final matchup, ideal Eastern Conference final matchup. Just with your head, not your heart.
Conference final matchup would have to be as much as I would love to put the Warriors in this conversation, I just for them to have an opportunity to run it back to back, it seems so unfair, especially with the season that they've had, this whole up and down and being road losers. I think they're like 16-20 on the road, like just
absolutely. Something really bad. Yeah.
If I had to make an ideal, I want to see Nikola Jokic be in the Western Conference Finals because the Denver Nuggets have been pretty consistent throughout the season with 51 wins, best home record in the league, I think, at this point. I would love to see the Nuggets and the Clippers go head-to-head in the Western Conference. On the Eastern side, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Holiday and Lopez and all the madness that they got going on in Milwaukee. I think they are a shoo-in for an Eastern Conference final. And I would love to be that matchup against the Boston Celtics in the East. I just feel like that would be the most entertaining and the best matchups in the Eastern Conference for sure. Those two.
Yes, I would agree with your Eastern Conference final because that's what I have for mine as well. I just think that that's a 7-game series. I don't think it's nobody's getting swept. No 4-1, no 4-2. I think that goes 7 games, and give me 7 games of that. Like I would love to see. I mean, it was great last year, seeing them go head to head. But yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion. I don't see anybody in the East beating either one of those teams. On the West. On the West, I need Memphis and Golden State. I need it. When injected in my veins.
So when it comes to Memphis, is the Ja Morant thing ever going to unravel? Is he returning to the team?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back. He's been playing. He's played their last 2 games, I think.
Wow.
He played tonight.
How did that chop up? Like, what is?
So he got
filed against him or dropped or something.
It was okay. So he got suspended for 8 games in totality. Like he didn't play for 8 games. The whole gun situation got pretty much dropped because they couldn't essentially prove how he got the gun to the club and if the gun was his. Okay. So what that sounds like to me is he has somebody take the fall for him, which is smart. So that situation is over and done. The lawsuit, I believe, I think it's a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Like at the mall or something like that, or.
Yeah, well, there's two different situations. Yeah. There's a mall situation where there was like a group of people that Ja was with. Got arrested with a security guard and the police ended up being called and I guess they got real rowdy. And then they have another situation where a neighborhood teenager was said to be bullied and beat up by Ja and somebody else at a local basketball court that kind of turned into the parents like filing a lawsuit against Ja and that kind of thing. And so I haven't read into it in the last like week or so, but I was following it when it was first unfolding. So I didn't realize that he had returned back to the grid.
He's back playing. I haven't heard about. I don't think that there's been really any update with the lawsuit. I think more than likely they're probably going to settle out of court. The whole mall situation. I think I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that they decided not to go forward and press charges against him, which again, he dodged another bullet there. So, as far as I know, like he's in the clear to play and he's going to be there for the playoffs. Like I said, he's played their last couple of games, so he is officially back. But with that being said, I mean, if that is consistent and he continues and he's available for the playoffs, I need that Memphis and Golden State matchup because they do not like each other, and I don't think that's an NBA storyline that's made up. Like, oh, we're gonna create this rivalry. No, ma'am. I think that it's a genuine, no love lost, bad blood between both sides, and I need it. I need to see Ja going at Steph. I need to see Steph going at Ja. I need to see Draymond and Dillon Brooks going back and forth. Also, Dillon Brooks and Klay Thompson, because that is fun light skin beef. I'm sorry, it is. Like, I like to watch it. It's hilarious.
What is better, the beef between the Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, or the beef between the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors? Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love the tension between Klay Thompson and Devin Booker. Like, I always think that is.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Right off the
that's another good one.
Draymond. I don't know if you saw last night's performance with Draymond, but he got himself into a flagrant foul situation.
I did see that, yeah.
Last night's game, and we even had to see Kerr take him out of the game because he was just completely mouthing off. And I mean, I think he's now serving a 1-game suspension for having 17 technical fouls throughout the season. Draymond's a trip. So
yeah, Definitely.
I feel like the Warriors have beef with everybody in the league because of Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, that and just because I mean, they talk big, and and they should. They got 4 championships, so they have every right. Like they have beyond earned the right to say what it is that they feel. But they talk big, and everybody ain't gonna take that. Everybody's not gonna take that laying down. But now that you say, what's the bigger beef? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't think the beef between here's why I'll say. I don't think the beef between Golden State and Phoenix is that serious.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun. It's more like just a competitive kind of beef.
Yeah.
I think that Memphis Golden State beef is real. Like
better matchup in the Western Conference Finals, because I almost completely forgot the looming return of Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
I would love to see at some point in the playoffs Phoenix Suns versus the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
I think it might be his first time going head in a playoff scenario. I would imagine his first time going against the team that he won 2 championships with.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kevin Durant joining the Suns? Because I have not picked your brain on that topic.
I like it. I think that was probably the best fit and what made the most sense. I think that was something that was already kind of in the works when he requested a trade last summer. That was the rumor that he was trying to make his way to Phoenix, so I think it was just a matter of time. Him and Devin Booker together, man, like if they can get on the same page, that is scary for anybody. Like, and I think, yeah, like I think, you know, this, and I was actually doing a podcast yesterday, and we were talking about the Phoenix Suns, and hey, Chris Paul, this is your last chance to dance, my boy.
Last chance to dance.
I don't think you gonna get another one after this one. So if you can't get it with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, it just wasn't meant for you. Yeah. Like I'm sorry. Like you've got every advantage in the world right now to get a championship. Like the West is wide open. I mean, as great as the Warriors are, it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to be champions again. Just like you said, with all the struggles that they've had. But I think the better matchup just on a basketball perspective would be Golden State and Phoenix, just because Kevin Durant and Steph finally get to go mano a mano again, and we can really see who needed who. Like we could probably put to bed like who was the most valuable. Was it Steph? Was it KD? Like we could definitely. So basketball wise, I think that's the best matchup. I just like to see pettiness, so that's why I said Golden State. But
here with our popcorn like ready.
Yeah, like I just want to see some light skin beef. That's it. But what were your thoughts about KD going to Phoenix?
I was initially surprised. I didn't know that he was going to be out of Brooklyn the way that he was. I just feel like Brooklyn just completely crumbled. And I thought Nash being gone was going to keep Kevin happy. But then it seemed like he didn't want to play with Kyrie anymore. And then it just all kind of fell apart. It just got real weird. But I think Phoenix Suns was a great move for him. He wanted to be a part of an organization that was ready to win now. He wanted to be a part of a team with a coaching staff that knew what the heck that they were doing. So I think it was a great move for him career-wise. And I think it was a little bit of a gutsy move to jump the lake and go back to the Western Conference. But, I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I think that was another maybe concept that he was thinking about. Like, if I want to get the respect that I want, then I have to go on the other side and beat the teams and the players that everybody says that I ran from when I went back to the East.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, motivated Kevin Durant against boy.
Gotta stay healthy. That's the only
thing. He needs to not twist his ankle in warm-ups. Yeah, like he's caught such a freakish injury with the last injury he just got. Like literally just going up for a routine layup and turned his ankle. I was so mad. I was like, how does that even, like, come on, man. But
it was right before his debut for the Phoenix Suns, so he hasn't even played at home yet. I mean, I think he's only played
he only played on the road,
and they've all been on the road. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're 3-0 with Kevin on the court. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just unfortunate. And I mean, if he runs into any of those issues in this stretch for the playoffs, it's gonna be night game over early for the Suns.
No, they've got. Then that's the one thing too with them. It's like they have to stay healthy. They need all 3 parts to stay healthy. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, as well as Kevin Durant. Like they all 3 need to be available if they're seriously going to contend for a championship in the stacked Western Conference. But
Aiden needs to rebound the ball. That's all he needs to do is catch some lobs and rebound the ball. That's what they're paying you to do. Stop, overstepping your boundaries, trying to do too much. Catch the ball.
Just play like a big man. Yeah, play like a big man. Like
being soft. Yeah,
it's so again frustrating. Like he has that AD syndrome where like sometimes they play like man on the mission, and it's like, oh my God, they're unstoppable. And then there's other times where they play like they're this tall, and it's like, for what? What are you playing small for? Like, come on, get it together. But yeah, he has to play better, or else again, that's another key component for that team. Like, if he comes up small like he has in the past, like they're not gonna do well. They're not gonna do well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to wrap up another episode of the Sports Senseis. It was so good to be back with the crew, doing how we do, you know what I'm saying, bringing you the news in the best way that we possibly can. You can catch us next week. We will have a lot more to report on because by that time, the playoffs will be even closer. We'll have some more matchup ideas, so we'll get into all that stuff, of course, or anything else that's popping. Ruth the Truth, do you have anything going on that you want to promote or tell people? Of course, tell people they can find you. Let's go.
Yeah, catch me on 102.5 The Bone this Sunday. Have a great show mixed up for you guys. We're going to talk a lot of Tampa Bay Lightning as their season comes to a close. Only 7 games to play in the regular season, and they're on to their next Stanley Cup, hopefully 4th Stanley Cup appearance in a row. That would be phenomenal. But check me out this Sunday on that. I'll be going live. And please, please, please subscribe to the new YouTube channel that I've just created for the Moment of Truth with Ruth. Find me on YouTube and stay plugged in. Trying to be as active as I can on Twitter too, at Ruth the Truth, and on Instagram, Ruth_the_truth with the number 1 at the end. Stay locked in with us. Sensei, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Sports Senseis. Hopefully we'll be back next week to kind of pick apart everything that we've talked about, plus more. But that is all for us. Yeah, where can they find you real quick, Sensei, on social?
Yes, Sensei_33 on Instagram, and I am actually currently reconstructing my YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. I'll let you guys know where you can find me on that on next week's episode. Got some pretty exciting videos coming out for you guys, so make sure y'all stay tuned to that. But yeah, just keep in touch with us, man. Keep locked in with us. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.